Welcome to the Just Jada Show. I'm your host, Jada, and on today's show, I have an amazing person, actor, director, producer, my friend. I'm so excited, Jim. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Oh my God.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming.
It's my pleasure.
Oh, I don't even know where to start. Okay, so how things have been for you?
Things have been pretty good. Things have been going well. Keeping busy. Just I don't know, just living life and doing my acting. And yeah, all's well.
So let's talk a little bit about the acting part. For those who don't know, I know that you're an amazing actor. For those who don't know, Jim is kind of like he is my best friend, and we both, we actually met in acting school over 10 years ago. We both went to Herbert Bergdorf Acting Studio with an amazing teacher, and we were actually really, our energy was drawn to one another, and ever since then we've just been really, really close, and he's done some amazing things, some amazing work he's done. He just recently finished a play. So why don't you talk about that?
Yeah. So yeah, actually, the play is still going on. I call it the never-ending show because it's, New York theater. It's hard to find shows that keep going and going, especially that are off Broadway. So it's an off-Broadway production, really, really amazing cast called Truffles. It's a great, great kind of musical murder mystery. It's amazing. It started with humble beginnings. Actually, at I passed where it started. It started at the, I guess the hall of a synagogue on 34th Street. And it was this huge, huge cavernous room with like 30-foot ceilings. The acoustics were terrible, but we somehow, it started there, and I started as an understudy, actually.
Wow.
And it just kept on growing. It just kept getting better. It kept moving to better places. There were rewrites happening. The producer and the director was amazing because, and I told this to her, because she would take whatever we did in the shows and incorporate it into the whole script. So let's say she gave you the opportunity to improv during a show. And if something worked, she would just keep it for the next show. She would just rewrite it into the script.
Got it. Kind of like being in the moment, living in the moment, and just...
So she was just she fostered that sort of like, do it, stick within the script, stick with what we directed, but you still had that little bit of freedom, and that little bit of freedom was everything for me and for the other actors as well. So it really evolved. The play evolved as a group, and that's what made it so special. And it came in 2 years to the Cutting Room, which is on 32nd and Park. Amazing, amazing space. It evolved into this great thing, and we're actually on hiatus for the months of July and August, and yeah, so it's just been really, really quite a journey.
It sounds like very experimental to me. A little bit.
Yeah, a little
freedom.
bit.
Yeah.
A little bit it was, for sure. Because I'm so used to directors being like, okay, this is how I want it. You can put a little bit of input here and there, but yeah, this is how we do it, and so forth. They would let me act, but this was a little bit more of a collaboration, and all the actors felt that freedom. So because you felt that freedom, we were able to, put more of our own artistic views in it. And yeah, there were sometimes it didn't work. We had, 2, 3 performances a week. Again, it's been going on for a while, same show. So there were some things that didn't work that, of course, we didn't keep. But the things that worked, we kept it. So it was experimental in that regard for me, but just loads of fun.
Got it. What was the name of your character, and what were you drawn to this character?
Okay, so
I'm sorry, what did you bring to the character?
what did I bring? Okay, what did I?
I'm sorry, was it 5 days a week? Did you guys perform?
No. It never got up that high. It was like, you know, two days a week on average, 3 days a week.
Okay,
Weekend and daytime.
back to
right.
the original question.
Okay, so like I said, I started as an understudy, right? So I was I was an understudy for the French chef, and it was a very ensemble cast. So it was like equal parts, no leads. But this French chef, who, you know, it takes place in Milan, Italy, right?
Okay.
The play. So everybody's Italian. Nobody has an Italian accent. Just the French guy, who's actually from Paris, has a French accent. So because I was understudying him, I just kept the French accent. So, and before I auditioned, the producer, one thing else different, the producer had me come to the show to see what I was auditioning for.
Okay.
Which was quite interesting to watch the play before you audition. So, so I loved it. As soon as I saw that role that I was understudying, I loved it. I was like, I'm a character actor. I can do characters, I can do accents. So when I went into the audition, I just kept the French accent. Meanwhile, the only reason he had the French accent was because he's actually from Paris.
Got it. Please let me hear a little bit of French accent.
No,
Please,
no,
just a
no,
little.
no. Mon chou, tu sais très bien que je n'aime pas tout gâche tout tout. Non, mais oui. Anyway, that's all you. That's all you're getting. So anyway, so that's what I loved. I loved the big, broad character. I love that. I love anything character. I love everything over the top. It's so much fun. So that's what I started in, and I ended up as Uncle Virgil, who is a totally different character, because when when the previous Uncle Virgil was, I don't know, moving on to do other stuff or whatever was going on, they offered me that full-time role as opposed to being an understudy, and I was like, hell yes, I will definitely take it. And that, okay, so what drew me to Uncle Virgil, number one, was the opportunity from going to from understudy to full-time, you know, principal. But beyond that, it was just, I was already so comfortable with the cast, so comfortable with the director, and it just, there was so much you could do with it, and so much you could bring to it, so many characters you could bring, so many accents, which that is part of it. I do multiple accents in the same role. So it was just, again, sort of like this crazy evolution.
Nice. Really, it sounds really, really fun. Why don't you could you just talk a little bit about your background and your training?
Mm-hmm. Sure. So I went to NYU for undergrad, and I wasn't in Tisch. I was in College of Arts and Science. So, you know, I did my good studious work, and but I always did theater at NYU, and NYU was great because it gave me opportunities to do about 11 productions while I was there, and it was awesome. Like, my NYU years were made amazing because of the theater I did there. So I got like 3 Best Supporting Actor awards while I was there at NYU, and I just had amazing opportunity to do Shakespeare, Tina Howe, comedy. We did Spring Awakening.
Nice.
You know, we just we did so many different roles, and I got to really try different things. And I noticed, of course, I was continuously getting roles in comedy, which I keep getting roles in comedy.
Because you're a funny person. I think you're a funny person.
Thank you. I try.
And that is so funny because it's people always say that I'm funny.
Yes.
But I'm so drawn to dramatic roles. I don't know why. I feel like I need to be dramatic.
Let me
and
tell
people,
you.
when I show my personality, people will say, "Oh my God, you're so funny. You should write a show. Or you're so funny. You make me laugh. You should do comedy." And I never, even monologues. I'm not even drawn to comedic monologues.
Yeah.
I don't know why. As an actor, I feel like I need to be.
Yeah. I hear you.
I don't know. I don't know why. Yeah.
I constantly get comedies, constantly. I just, those are the things that I keep getting casted, and I love it. I enjoy it very much. But I'm also like, God, I want to do some drama as well.
Yeah.
And I have, and it was one of the most amazing experiences. It was actually a theater company out in Fire Island that you had seen.
Oh, wow.
But it was a different play, not the one you saw.
Okay.
Right? You saw the British one. It was a
so
great
good.
show.
It was a great show.
But there was another show that we also did with the same theater company. It was just two actors. And I played somebody who had just tried to commit suicide. And I was dying with the way that I had tried to commit suicide. I mean, it was inevitable that I was going to die. There was just no way. That was clear from the beginning of the play. There was no way I was going to survive, or very unlikely that I was going to survive this. And the other actor was a priest who was just brought in to kind of like speak to me, give, sort of like last rites that was drawn out for an hour. It was such a moving play. And it was a drama. There was really nothing funny going on at all. And I loved it. Our chemistry was so amazing. I just, and it's like, when you taste something and it's so good, you just want to taste it again. So that's actually, once Truffles is done, I would love to go for another drama.
Oh, that's cool. That's nice. How did you end up at HB Studios?
Okay, so HB Studios, there's a friend of mine from NYU, from my NYU theater days. And I was like, I asked him, I said, hey, I sort of want to go back to studying and really kind of, I don't know, take some acting classes, get my juices flowing again. And he suggested, he's like, I love HB Studios. It's amazing. It's a great place to get amazing training, and it won't break the bank. I'm like, okay, sign me up. Plus, it was downtown in the West Village, which I love. So, so yeah, I went there. Oh, and the other good thing, they said you can audit classes without signing up for the full quarter or semester. So I was like, okay, great. I love that. I don't jump right in. I want to try things out. I tried 3 different teachers, and then I tried Michael Beckett, who you know. And as soon as I was in that class, I was like, okay, this is it. There's no question. I immediately felt that, whatever it is that you feel when you find a teacher that's just amazing and brilliant. And he studied with him for many years, as you know, as you did too. And he was just, my friend referred to him as a Svengali. Like, he's just brilliant.
He is.
He's just brilliant. So it was through a recommendation.
Nice. I love Michael as well. I just learned so much. I could always remember him. I know he just was always so, such a good reader, just laid back. He could really pull out your personality. He could read you without saying a word. Like,
totally.
I just loved him. Like, you could not fake it with Michael Beckett. You had to be authentic and organic and real in his class. And that's one of the things I love about Michael. What's that? He taught me how to use my instrument, understand my instrument. So I get it. I truly understand in that regards. Michael Beckett and being at HB Studios. Let's talk about your improv. I know you've done some improv stuff as well.
Yeah, that's actually what I did before Truffles, was many years of improv with a group called Rufus Kahn, and we just, it was an amazing experience, improvisational theater, and we did short form, right? So it was really fast. It was kind of like, whose line is it anyway on stage? So the way that improv was described to me was acting is like walking a tightrope, but there's a net under you. Improv is walking that same tightrope, but there's no net. And that's absolutely what performing every night with this group was like. It was, you didn't know what was going to happen. So it was exhilarating, but very scary at the same time. There's no memorized lines. You have no idea what's going to come out of your mouth, whether it's going to be funny, whether it's going to be good, what's going to happen. You don't know what anybody else is going to do. As opposed to theater, where like even the glass that I pick up has been rehearsed and timed and happens, which is exactly how Michael Beckett trained us. He was like, even your sip has to be exactly precise. And the way, everything. That doesn't happen in improv. It's just, flying by the seat of your pants. The most amazing part of improv that I recommend for all actors to do it, once you leave improv and go back to regular theater or film, it's like a cakewalk in comparison. So if you really want to push yourself out of your comfort zone and talk about training, do improv, study improv, join an improv troupe. Absolutely, the best advice I can give to actors.
I just had an amazing idea. I just had the most amazing ideas. For those who don't know what improv is, and we never really ever got a chance to work together. It's so crazy that we both always had this urge and desire to work together, and we never did. I think we should do a couple of minutes of improv. Just to show them, to be in the moment, just to show them.
This is your show.
It doesn't matter.
No, this is your show, so you call the shots.
I don't call. I just said. I just had.
Do I have a choice to say yes or no, or is this just it's happening?
Of course you had a choice. I don't think you're going to say no because my audience wants to see us do improv, right?
Well, I'm definitely not going to say no, but.
But I think you should do some improv right now for those who don't know what improv is.
So I think we should do some improv, right? Because I'm not going to do improv alone.
Okay, I'll do it with you.
Okay, perfect.
For how long do we want it? How long do you want to do it?
I don't know, a minute or two. Do short.
Although
I don't know though, it's your show, so you
all right,
tell
so
me.
let's do. But I want you to start. I want you to start.
No pressure. No pressure at all.
Okay, let's do at least a minute and a half for improv, maybe 2 minutes.
Okay. All right. Totally unexpected, but this is improv, so. All right.
Whatever you want to do, I'm here.
Sounds
so
good.
guys, if I go silent for a minute, it's not that we don't have anything to talk about. It's that we're about to perform, okay? Really short improv with my friend, Jim, the actor. Let's go. I'm ready. Let me get in my mode. All right, I'm ready.
Are you sure I have to start?
Yeah, you have to start.
But. All right, so I don't understand. Every time we get into a fight, why is it that I have to start with what I did wrong?
Who's fighting? You consider this a fight?
All right, so I don't consider it a fight. It's just whenever we talk now, it's an argument. And this is, I don't know if I can take this.
Why do you view or think it's a fight? And why are you so melodramatic?
I'm not being melodramatic.
You are. Like, this is just a simple
Yeah, I understand it's a simple conversation.
What's with all the gesturing? What's going on in your body language? Why are you so tense?
I'm very uncomfortable.
Why?
We've been fighting for the last 10 days, and you won't even acknowledge the fact that it's a fight.
We're not fighting.
All right. All right. You say tomato, I say tomato. I consider this.
What is the point? What do you want to talk about? What is it? What's going on? What's going on?
All right. I think I need to move out. I've been wanting to say this for a while now, and it's just building up and building up and building up. And quite honestly, I'm a very independent person, and living together is not working for me.
So you want to move out?
I want to move out.
And how long have you been feeling like this?
A couple of months.
Okay, fine.
Great.
Move on.
Awesome. I didn't think it was going to be that easy for you.
Why wouldn't it be? I'm not going to hold you hostage if you don't feel comfortable here. Why would I want to keep you here if you don't feel comfortable here with me?
Okay. Great.
But just tell me one thing.
Huh.
Why did it take you this long to...
Because I thought you were going to be upset.
You...
Apparently...
But why care about what I think if you want to move out?
Well, because we're in a relationship.
No. We're not in a relationship.
and scene. Okay, so I think we need to explain to your audience.
Okay.
Can I just do this?
Yeah, explain to the audience.
All right. They're like, damn, they
Take
got so
the show.
serious.
I'm sorry, take the show for a minute.
They're like, they got so serious.
just dropped
Okay,
my
so
earring.
Jada and I will sit in Washington Square Park every once in a while, and we'll start improvising a scene. And usually it tends to be dramatic because, like we were saying before, we keep getting comedies. So I think it's our secret inner part that wants to do drama. But the best part of what you and I do is when people start listening and on dramatic improv, and they're like, "Oh God, there's a fight going on over there." So it's just our usual.
I think for me, I think it's for me working with someone that you know that you consider reference, like you know me, like you know me inside and out, so I know you the same way. You know, I know you, and to work with someone as an actor, I think that's an honor and a privilege, and it does something. It's like playing tennis. You know, I know when you're giving me something back, and I know it's raw and it's real, and it makes me go to the next level. And I don't always feel that with actors. You know, you can get that actor that you have to work so hard for, and they're not getting it, they're not giving you what you want. But with you, I just feel an instant connection.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if it's because we have the same training or our connection. We definitely have a special creative bond and creative, I don't know if I'm using the right terminology, but I definitely have a connection with you.
Of course.
When it comes to acting, and I love that. I never really truly got an opportunity to work with you. So this was fun. Let me ask you a question. What has been the most challenging for you in acting and balancing work?
Okay, so that's, of course, I think a challenge for all actors is
All of us.
all of us,
Yeah.
all of us balancing.
But I just want the audience to know.
You know, balancing work and, you know, and our passion together, right? So it's a huge challenge, but not enough of a challenge to not do it. So not acting would be kind of like, I don't know, a spiritual death of some kind. Like I wouldn't be, that light behind my eyes wouldn't flicker, and I wouldn't be as good a friend to people. I wouldn't be as, you know, good in relationships. I would walk around a lot more of an angry New Yorker than I already am. So it's not easy to balance work and theater and work and acting, but it's not an option to not balance it. So I gotta find a way to do it, one way, shape, or form. Yeah, is it challenging? Absolutely, but it just makes the times that I'm acting that much more valuable and amazing and just uplifting.
I totally understand it. When the roles are not coming in, what is it that you do to keep yourself creative, to express?
Yeah, that's really good. I sit in Washington Square Park with you and do improv.
Do you have an interest or desire to write?
Yeah, you know, that's interesting. I have a friend who wanted to write with me and do some, like, you know, Seinfeld-like shows. And we tried kind of writing, but it's just, I don't know, it's just not my thing. Honestly, I'm great with ideas, like, you know, laughing and like, oh, this would be great, like, but then when it comes down to putting like lines on a paper, it's just not my passion. So that's the beauty of the world. Like, we have people where that exactly is their passion, so I kind of leave it to them. I'm great at coming up with ideas with people, but Yeah,
What-
writing, not. But as far as your question about what do I do, so I just keep going for roles. And quite honestly, I don't care what it is, but I just keep going for roles. So people would ask me like, oh, you know, you did off-Broadway. What's your dream? Do you want to do Broadway? I said, my dream is I just want to act for the rest of my life.
always tell
or
people
just
that.
act until I don't want to act anymore. I mean, I might want to
never gonna
paint 10
happen.
years from now. I have no idea, but I just want to follow my bliss and follow my passion and keep doing it. Like some of the most amazing acting I didn't get paid for. So I just keep looking. If I can't find it, then the audition was my creative outlet. Those 1 minute, 2 minutes to do something in front of people, that was my creative outlet. So I just keep looking for work.
Do you find that as a seasoned actor that the audition process get tedious, or does it get strenuous?
Yeah, so I'll tell you, the audition process I don't think is ever going to be fun. I try to make it fun, but it's not going to be like, oh God, that was so much fun. Like, no, it's not an easy process to go through, the audition process, right? But I think the fun of the audition for me is when it's a cold read and it's not necessarily something I've prepared, but it's just something that, bam, they hand me, and then I just kind of use my imagination. Like acting is really using your imagination. So when I get to do that, even if it's 1 minute, 2 minute audition, that's great. And then the other weird thing is, I'll do auditions where sometimes I say, oh, it went horrible, I didn't get it, and sometimes I still get the role. Sometimes, of course, I say, oh, it went horrible, and yes, of course, I don't get the role. And sometimes it's that, oh, I think it went pretty good, and I don't get the role, but sometimes I know I'm gonna get it. At the end of that audition, I just know. It's this weird thing, I don't know, it's this energetic thing where whatever, you know, the casting people give me and I give them, somehow it's like, we all know that that was it. Like that, I don't know why.
I got it. For me, I'm going to talk about two experiences for me. I strongly feel like the audition starts when you walk in the room before you even read a line and open your mouth.
Good point.
I truly feel like that's what that is. Everything. I had one experience where I went for this Broadway play that I wanted really bad. Off-Broadway play, I should say. Really bad. And I went in and I auditioned. And I got nervous, something. I didn't feel right in my gut. So I left the audition. I was on 54th and Broadway, and I was standing there, and the actor came from the soap opera. He played Dusty. I would never forget it. He walked up to me. He literally walked up to me. I think this is crazy. He's like, you just had to audition, right? I'm like, yeah. He said, let it go. He said, let it go. He said, it's over, you're not in the room anymore. He said, you need to understand, casting directors, producers, writers, they already know what their Tom look like, they already know what their Mary looks like. You know, the only thing you can do is just go, be you, do you, and leave it there. And when you leave it there.
That's it.
And from that point, I just walk in, I do my work, and then I'm out the door. I don't even think about it anymore, but sometimes I get that feeling like, I got that. Or even if I don't get it, I always feel like I did a good job. I had a good audition. So I'm very okay with them not choosing me for the part. Maybe it was something else.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but I never hold on to the audition process. I don't let it supersede my being to it makes me depressed. Because I also think that some people are just not good at auditioning, but are great actors.
Yeah, for sure.
They're just not. Some people are just not good at being on the spot in that moment for that 2 minutes that you have with producers, directors staring at you like this, and it's like go. Some people can't take the pressure.
Absolutely.
And I think a lot of that comes with auditioning over and over, repetition and technique and style and honing your craft.
Totally.
What is your dream project?
Oh God, I never even thought about that. My dream project? Oh gosh, it would probably be Death of a Salesman.
Why?
Yeah, I love that play. I absolutely love it. And you know, I earlier I would have wanted to play the son, and now I think I want to play the dad. You know, he's just amazing.
Nice.
I love it.
What
I
is it
love
about
it.
the dad that attracts you?
I think it's just the whole play. It's just an amazing, amazing piece of art. The whole thing, just from the roles, the character development, the writing. It's just magical. It's really, really, really magical. And I did actually have an experience in class working on that play, and the magic that happened during that, you know, mini performance of that particular play, of course, affected me. But it's just, that would be my dream. On Broadway, of course.
You would never guess what mine would be.
Say again?
You would never guess in a million years what mine would be.
Which one?
Guess. You said you know me.
The Cicely Tyson
One.
play
That's one.
and The Color Purple.
No. Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf?
Oh, really? Yes.
Ah!
We could do that.
I could do that.
I hope
right?
somebody's
oh my God, I
watching.
did that, and that was my teacher gave me that to do, and the whole opening scene where she's going back and
Yeah,
forth,
yeah.
and
Love
I've
it.
never ever had to speak so many words. And I kid you not even with Michael Beckett.
Yeah.
I had to learn so many words in a short period. I think 5 days. I had to learn. Oh, I was like, did she just give me all this dialogue to remember in 5 days?
Yes.
And I had to remember, and I did it, and it made me realize that, because I was used to, you know, you go to class, you get a scene, you work on it, and I probably could do like an hour a day, and you know, and then you got like a week to do, but we had to get it in 5 days, and the dialogue was like, I know, like 8 to 10 pages long. Full dialogue of her constantly talking, and it was amazing. And I realized like I had to discipline myself. Had to discipline myself, and I had to push the bar, and it made me fall in love with the character as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Discipline's a huge part of it. You talk about acting,
I always say
discipline.
consistency and discipline.
Absolutely.
You have to be,
For sure.
because I feel like you know, I think that Michael always say, acting is a noble craft. You have
Yes.
to work at it over and over and over and over again. And it's so funny because each time I perform, I still get nervous. I don't know what that is.
Oh, yeah.
I still get nervous. I can know my lines down pat. I can study and we can rehearse, but time is to hit that stage or on set, I'm still nervous.
Absolutely.
But I've learned how to channel that and use that.
And
What
how
about
to use
you?
it. Yep, absolutely. It's weird. The few performances where I haven't felt nervous before going on, it doesn't fly the same way. You know, you don't have that, like, I don't know, that extra oomph.
That
You need that.
charge.
If I took the nerves and let it overwhelm me, then yeah, that's going to start affecting the role. But you just, I don't know, you got to use it. Got to use it. Well, with nervousness with me, it doesn't, you know, especially working on the same show for a long time, like a year, honestly, I don't get as nervous, but even the 5 minutes before something starts, and I know we're good, like I know it's gonna, you know, take me through the show.
You mentioned Washington Square Park, which is one of my favorite parks because of you. What is it about Washington Square Park that inspired you so
Okay,
much?
so of course my NYU days, I have so many memories of being with my castmates, theater friends in Washington Square Park in New York. And it's just a great park with a great diverse vibe where it's just, it's kind of like if Utopia had to be in one part of Manhattan, I feel like that would be it. Those like that one park where, I don't know, everyone just comes there and just lets go of whatever they came with. I mean, this is just my view, obviously, but there is just something about the history of that park. There's something about it, and of course, I realize it's my own nostalgia of, you know, having my university days there. But it's really because that's where my true love of theater was birthed, was right around that park. So I'm sure that's where it comes from.
I feel the same way. It's so funny that you say that. I always feel like when I walk through Washington Square Park, it's like it's its own little world. And when you step on that curve from West 4th Street and all the craziness, it's just a certain type of energy and synergy that's in that in that space. Like, I think it supersedes all types of color, prejudices, because you see all different types of, it's art.
Yeah.
It's art at its greatest. It supersedes all of how we are in this world. So it's a certain type of calmness and peace when I walk through that park. And I oftentimes like to sit back and watch people in their own, as an artist. I'm a people watcher as an actress. I love to watch people. Did you know that?
I think so.
I love to watch people. I always stare at people and just watch them in their humanness. And I love to watch different, like I like to watch the guys there play chess.
Of course.
I love to watch this lady who has like the fake pigeons out there. I love to watch the people who have the guitars out there, the fountain. I love Washington Square Park as well. Oh, that's cool. Love, love, love,
It's
love,
funny
love.
you say that about watching people, because Michael Beckett used to always tell us, if you want to study acting, just study human behavior. That's really what he said. He said, just study human behavior, study human psychology. Goes, you know, don't, it's funny as an acting teacher, but he's like, don't waste your time with too much on acting. You know, study psychology.
I totally agree with that. I can remember, I think it was in Uta Hawkins' book, where she
Respect for acting.
Respect for acting, where she says, study yourself every day, like your mannerisms. How do you get up? And I did that. Like how I got out of my bed and how I brush my teeth and my whole routine. And I love the exercise where you have to like find something, like you lose your keys and you find them. I love that. I love, 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 love. And I found it interesting to watch. My son, like, I didn't realize I do that. I didn't realize I do the same thing the same way all the time. What about yourself?
Absolutely. It's those, you know, it's those simple things that we do every day, right? Like losing your keys and looking for it, or making coffee in the morning. When you're in the moment doing those things, that's what acting is.
That's
it's
what
not
life
that
is, yeah.
complicated, really. It's just being in the moment. The reality of it is, in acting, or in real life, if we're not in the moment, we're missing it.
Missing it.
We're missing everything about life when we're not in the moment. So there's this other thing. I'm like, you know, a little bit. I don't have a Facebook account. I'm sort of like, you know, go on the computer as little as possible. I still do, but you know, I feel like anything that takes me out of the moment is, for me anyway, for me specifically, the way my brain works, it's just not good for me, because there's constantly distractions. And same thing in acting. And acting was always described to me as a meditation. So when I'm in the moment, it's like, and I'm acting, it's like the best meditation I could possibly do.
When did you know you was an actor? Or you wanted at least to be an actor? What age?
So I was in, God, probably all my life. You know, as a kid, I must have, you know, as a young kid, I must have known. But in 4th grade, there was a high school production of The King and I. And I made my mother take, because they needed children to play, like real children, to play the King's royal children. And it was a huge, they did like an open call. It was the best theater company, the high school theater company in the area we were living. And like 1,000 kids showed up for this. And I was like, I want to go audition in 4th grade. Never done anything like that before. And my mom took me to the audition and I got it.
Really?
And it was like 40 kids were selected and 10 of them were the royal children, and I was one of the royal children. And that experience from beginning to end of the rehearsal process all the way to the performances, I was hooked.
That's amazing.
One show, 4th grade, done.
I always knew I was, you know when I knew I was an actor? I always knew I was an actor, but when I really knew I wanted to be an actor, you're not gonna believe this, when I saw The Wiz.
You told me that before.
I did?
Yeah.
When I saw, I don't know what it was. It was 1975, 76. I can remember. Then this little girl going to the theater with my sisters and brothers, and I said, when I saw Diana Ross and Michael Jackson, and I said, I want to do that. I can do that. I just resonated with me. I said, I'm going to do that. That's me. The whole time I was watching the film, I imagined myself on the screen.
And that is what I hope that we have as much diversity in theater and film as possible, because there are so many young people who have the potential to have those moments, but they have to continuously see themselves, whatever that happens to be. You know, whoever the kid is, whoever the young person is, they need to see somebody they can say, oh, that person is kind of like me, because that's kind of how our brains work when we're younger. But they need to see that all the time. Like, people are like, oh, what's the big deal with that? It's a big deal. Yeah. It changes people's lives.
It does.
So, you know, not to kind of jump to that.
No,
but,
I get it. I understand.
But that's the reality. You know, if we need to have a comedian with a headscarf up there doing stand-up, that's, you know, because there's going to be somebody who's going to be in a headscarf who's going to be like, oh, I always wanted to be a comedian, and wow, she's doing it. And if she could do it, I could do it too. I mean, all these kinds of things. What
do you think about the quality of work for actors today? Or I shouldn't say for actors today. What do you think about the quality of work that's on TV and in movies today? I have my own opinion on it, but I just want to hear yours.
All right. Well,
honest. No filters.
For all the directors in the future that are going to cast me, I love your work. The quality of your work could not be better.
I feel the same way.
Amazing.
Amazing. But
now, as a general, I think, you know, it's hard for me to say. Like, I think there's some stuff that's not great, some stuff that's pretty good, and some stuff that's brilliant. The reality of it is the brilliant is probably at the 10%, maybe less. That's the reality of what's produced. I think that's the reality with lots of art. And of course, this is my definition of brilliant. Somebody else's definition is going to be a different 10, 15% of stuff that's done. So, you know, for specifically film and TV, I think one of the major issues is that money comes into play too much, and it corrupts it. It's just, when you take art and it becomes, you know, Michael Beckett used to say this, it becomes so serious. You know, as soon as there's a lot of money on the line, everybody becomes serious. The directors, the producers, the actors, everybody becomes very serious because, oh, there's so much money on the line,
ego.
Right? And then ego, which also adds its own. But when money is the primary driving force, and a film studio or a, you know, network or whatever, it's like, you know, look, there's a bottom line here, then they're going to try to mass produce, meaning like produce to the masses. And when that happens, you can't appeal to everyone all the time unless you kind of keep it on a superficial level, I feel like. So, you know, those are my sort of politically correct, incorrect 2 cents. But it's still art. At the end of the day, it's still art. Good, bad, just, you know, it's getting done.
I think for me, I'm not inspired by a lot of stuff I see on TV today or in the movies. I am not. Like you said, I feel the same way. I think money comes into play, and it doesn't allow the people who truly are artists and studied and are great actors out there to get quality work. I think it have them getting like crappy roles and not truly showing what their true talent is, because they don't get that meaty, you know, well-written the humanist or human role. It's always something very surface, and I I don't even know if I can articulate it. It's just not, it's not life. It doesn't represent human nature to me. It doesn't make me go out of my seat. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
I need to be like, oh my God, and I need to see myself on the screen, and I need to, you know, feel truly seeing a human being having a human experience on film. And I don't get that. That's not to criticize anyone's work, because I would never criticize an artist or an actor or whatever that work is, because someone gave me a crappy role right now, I probably would take it. Most likely I will take it because I have to pay the bills and I have to express myself. But for me to be, I mean, for when an artist go and they study and they understand what the craft of art is and acting is, it's very hard to settle for roles that's not fulfilling. You understand?
I totally do. And you know, just to piggyback on that, like when you said, like, you know, you started getting out of your chair a little bit, like it made me think that for me, good film, good TV, good theater, and probably good art in general has to move me.
Move me.
In some way, shape, or form. It doesn't have to be moved to tears. It has to be just moved. Mm-hmm. And that energetic thing has to happen, or else I'm left like, oh, that was fun. You know, as time passed, but I wasn't moved. So, and let me tell you, even as an actor, it is not easy to move people. These are not easy things. That's why I'm not surprised that it's a small percentage. It is not an easy accomplishment to move somebody. But when you do.
Is it? I got it. Too. Oh my God, I could just talk to you forever and ever and ever. I just wanted to say this to you. One question. What do you do when you be in the moment?
What do I do?
What do you do when you're in the moment?
As an actor?
How do you live in the moment?
Oh. How do I bring myself into the moment?
Yes.
A regular reminder constantly. Like, you are not in the moment. Get yourself into the moment right now. You're distracted. It's just this awareness. One of the things that has helped me most is quieting my brain.
Meditation.
Meditation. Quieting my brain through meditation, through reading, through journaling, anything that stops the brain activity. The human brain has an average of 60,000 isolated thoughts per day. That's a lot. There is no time to be in the moment because the brain is going nonstop. If I can quiet my brain, I can be in the moment.
Do you have in the future projects that you'll be working on that I can tell my audience about?
Well, hopefully, Truffles will be coming back.
Okay.
There was even a potential, which this is a little up in the air, but there was a potential of Truffles moving to Joe's Pub. So if that happens, that'll be amazing. It's an amazing space to perform. But hopefully Truffles will be coming back. It's an amazing play with a great cast. So hopefully that will make its return. And if not, I'm sure I'll be looking for work soon.
Do you have a website where people can get more information on Truffles?
Actually, yeah, I think it's trufflesmystery.com.
Spell it.
Truffles is TrufflesMystery.com.
Okay, you don't have Facebook, Twitter, no social media?
Sorry.
I get it. Because I'm working on it as well. It's amazing having you on.
Thank you so much.
Fun. Thank you for your knowledge and your experience.
Thanks for
having me. Oh my God, this has been so much fun. Come back anytime. You're welcome.
Love you. Love you too.
Mwah.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you for watching Just Jada, and thank you. I'm so excited. Thank you for watching Just Jada. My name is Jada. I look forward to seeing you next week. And remember, life happens in the moment. That's it, I'm done. I gotta edit that because I got stuck. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
How did you like that?
You were great. It was awesome.